Hello there, and thanks again for joining me. This is Scotty from Cocos Island. We're going to make a couple of box joint jigs out of a ROCKLER router table. I've already made a couple scrap pieces here. Set up the jig, fits pretty good. So we're going to proceed with some actual real hardwood. I've got some maple and some walnut. And I'm going to be cutting 4 pieces of box joint jig, and hopefully it works out as well as the scrap piece. So let's take a look. What I've got here is a Bosch router. It's a 1/4 horsepower router table, the ROCKLER router box jig. It's all set up for a 1/4 inch cut. It's set 1/4 inch away from the blade. It's an upstop router bit, 1/4 inch spacing. Should be pretty simple. Let's give it a try. Another tip here, if the camera will pick this up, you want to mark all 4 pieces, A, B, B, C, and D. And you also want to mark top and bottom. In this case, D is top, 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 bottom, top, bottom. So you have to orient these. Each piece has to skip over the tooth. So you'll see how that works in a second. But that's first and foremost thing, is to make sure you mark all your pieces, A, B, C, and D, top and bottom. Okay, so the top goes up against the key and it slides up to the router bit. You gotta make sure your fingers are well clear and go slow. Wear your safety glasses. First 2 pieces. Let's see how we did. Pretty close, pretty close. Might just have to clean it up a little bit, but these will go together. There, it's just a little tight. Here we go. Takes a little force, might take a little bit of sandpaper, but as you can see, these 2 pieces will slam together. Okay. Do the same to other 2 sides, and the other 2 pieces will be there. The next 2 sides are exactly the same as the first 2 sides. First step, push it up against the key. Make sure everything's clear.
The next 2 sides are exactly the same as the first 2 sides. First step, push it up against the key. Make sure everything's clear.
See how we did? Looks pretty close. As in the first one, we'll probably just have to sand it out a little bit, but if the camera's picking that up, we'll get these pieces to fit onto the other side now. Okay, now to cut the right side of each square box, we're gonna fire it up and follow. Okay, one more time around the block, same as before. Tight. Okay, so the next step is to reset up the router table so I can cut grooves in each of these 4 pieces. I have each one marked with an arrow right here. The grooves on that will fit a piece of maple, thin 1/8 inch. So I have an 1/8 inch bit set about 3/16, 4/16 quarter inch away from my fence. So I'm just going to run these through real quick and get a groove so I will have a base for my box. So starting here, watch an arrow. I'll have to sand that out. So that should fit in there just fine once I clean it up. Might be another pass through the router. So that's that. Okay. I did just run this through 1 second time. Moved the fence just about 1/16 of an inch, maybe just less, maybe 32nd, so I could get a little bit wider groove. So it fit perfectly in this base. So that's nice. Nice and tight. A little loose. Perfect. Go on to the next phase. So far, so good. All right. Check it out. It's not glued up yet. Okay. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Except what I did wrong was when I set the height of the router bit, I set it to my scrap thickness. That's what you're supposed to do. When you use that ROCKLER jig, you have to set the bit height to the same thickness as the wood. So when I set my height on my jig, I set the height to my scrap pieces, but my actual maple and walnut pieces are thinner, as you can see. So therefore, I wound up with this peg leg issue. Too deep a cut. I just learned something. I might just leave this though. I think that looks kind of freaking cool. It's not glued up yet. I got the groove in the bottom, so I could put my my base in it. But lesson learned. I should have slowed down and checked the height, because when my scrap pieces, I said the height is too tall for my actual pieces. But I'll square this up. I'll put the base in it and glue it. And I could probably just put this on the table saw and cut it. But I might just leave it. I kind of dig that. It's like a first mistake. It'll sink in my stupid brain. Next time, check the height. Okay, keep moving. Okay, I got the bottom on. Again, these are sticking out. I could take his chops on, chop them off, but I'm not sure I'm going to do that. But I'm not also not sure what I'm going to do for a top or just leave it open. I kind of like it. But now I'm going to glue it up, sand it, and then I got some nice stain, and try another one. All right. Okay, so I glued it up. It's glued, and it's pretty square, and I got the bottom on it. And I don't know if that's going to bug me or not, if I should just cut these off. I've got one of these fancy Japanese saws that'll make a nice cut there and there. Leave me a comment in the messages. Let me know if I should cut this or not. I'm letting it dry. Again, it started with this one. That's the way they're supposed to look. Nice flush corners, as you can see. And what it wound up with is a Lincoln log stack thing. But first time for everything. So let me know if I should leave this or hack them. Well, after giving this much thought, I decided I was going to go ahead and chop these off. I got this nice saw. I know it's not going to be a lot of work, so I'm just going to have at it and take these off. Reason for it, because I'm going to stain this. And I want a nice flush edge. My stain and varnish. Yeah, so it's my Saturday, and this is my R&R. Yep. Did you guys vote? I voted. I voted today by mail. Anyway, I got this General Finishes RMR Seal oil-based top coat satin. And as you saw, I did cut those little tabs off that with that Japanese knife saw. Fine saw, and I'm going to get this finished because I've spent enough time on it already today. So hopefully this turns out. It was a lot of sanding. It's been a lot of sanding, but this is not really a stain. This is just a clear satin finish, but you can see that how it turns out. I think it looks kind of nice. Yeah, this is first time for me ever making one of these sorts of box-like things, but I'm gonna make a bigger one. So look at that, that's popping. First time for me, and I screwed up, but I was able to fix it. So I guess it's better to cut too deep and have those things extend out, and then you can really flush cut and sand those corners, and it pops, man. This stuff looks great. And I'll probably put 2 or 3 coats of this on there. Beautiful wood, cheap. I bought like a bundle, 2 boxes of wood on eBay, and they're about 15 pounds, 20 pounds a box, just very soft cuts of hardwood. So I got maple, some oak, walnut, what else did I get? Some cherry, a few pieces of cherry. Cherry's hard to get, but I got a nice variety, just small stuff, just for little projects like this. And I think it was a pretty good deal. I think it's probably gone up since I've purchased it last, but anyway, just putting the first coat on here. Sorry to bore you. Nobody wants to watch somebody sit and paint something, but anyway, this will give you an idea how it turned out. Isn't that wild? Pretty nice, pretty nice. There's a few things I could have done different, but yeah, pretty fun. Pretty fun. Anyway, I'm gonna keep on varnishing this sucker until there's nothing left to varnish. Beautiful day. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, and it's about 80 degrees here in Orange, California, at Cocos Island. I'm just rambling on here. Shot down another balloon, or did they shoot that down? There was another balloon over Utah, which is kind of wild. I don't know if we keep sending up these weather balloons, but gotta let everybody up in arms. Okay, that's the first coat. I'm gonna set it around here so it doesn't dry and stick, but that gives you an idea how we're looking. Pretty good. All right, I'll just, where am I gonna set this? I guess right here. So it doesn't stick. And that's it. Thanks for watching.